Hello and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, I am author and photographer Kevin O'Donnell, and this is Behind the Door, which is storytelling that's part travelogue, part adventure, part history, part photography workshop that I take you on as I explore and photograph and write about and create stories and videos of the unique cultural, social, historic, and natural beauty and diversity of my homeland here, the Door Peninsula, on the shores of Lake Michigan. And every once in a while, I make videos of travels off the peninsula. Mostly those are related to our culture here, maritime culture, for example, where currently we are in the middle of an annual event called Winter Layup. And this is when the fleet of giant ore boats and bulk carriers come in off the Great Lakes waters for a couple of months for repairs and maintenance, upgrades and inspections, that sort of thing. And this series of videos is by far my most popular and the most watched. And we're going to get into that in a minute, but before we do, a few weeks ago in a video that I posted of my 2023 year in review, I presented my 10 favorite photographs of the year, and I announced that on February 1st I would be giving away, randomly, an 11 by 14 limited edition print of my number one favorite photo to a subscriber of my channel. Well, I heard from about, 162 of you on or before the deadline of January 31st. In emails that came from all across the US, Canada, England, Wales, Scotland, Sweden. And yesterday, on the 1st, I randomly assigned a number to each one of those emails. And then using a random number generator app, arbitrarily I drew number 109. And I'm pleased to announce that that number corresponded to Joshua Stanton of Collinsville, Oklahoma. So congratulations, Joshua. He, along with so many of you, in fact, most of you took the time to include in your emails just how much you enjoy my photos and videos and the degree to which you follow my adventures and how it inspires you and intrigues you. And for some of you, planning family vacations here to the Door Peninsula. And for others, they say it's a form of therapy, that they find them very relaxing and they enjoy the music. I'm astonished by that, frankly, but I do appreciate it, and I wanted to tell you, thank you for all of you who wrote in. I do appreciate it very, very much. So when I contacted Joshua, I asked if he would be amenable to share his story with all of you, and he kindly agreed. And I wanted to then share that with you because I sometimes lose sight of the fact that my work has an actual impact, a visceral impact on people that they respond to, people who discovered my work. And it's just one example of the kindness that you folks continue to shower me with, and I am so grateful that you derive benefit and pleasure from what I put out and, from here, my little corner of the world. So Joshua writes, I'll read this to you here. Good afternoon, Kevin. I'm excited that you're running this drawing because it pushed me to finally send you a note, which I have been thinking of doing now for a while. Although I am sure your photography is partly for your own enjoyment, I wanted to encourage you with our story of the enjoyment it brings for others, including my family. I grew up in central Ohio, he says, and my dad has always been interested in the history of the Great Lakes shipping, leading to numerous family vacations when I was a kid to the shores of the Great Lakes all over Ohio and Michigan. To some extent, an awe of the lakes and the ships that traverse them has been instilled in me. Now, fast forward 2 decades. I'm now living in Oklahoma, and I discovered the Sue Locke's live stream camera on YouTube a little over a year ago, which prodded me to introduce to my oldest, 9-year-old, Ships of the Great Lakes. We stumbled upon your channel last year during Winter Layup and spent countless bedtimes watching Behind the Door instead of doing our usual nighttime reading. Your videos have been a great bonding experience for us and has been the catalyst of many other great conversations about a wide range of topics. Since the ships started going to rest last month, I am greeted nightly when I walk in the door to, "Are there any new Winter Layup videos today?" We also have a few favorites that we routinely follow on the Maritime Traffic app, which I would highly recommend, by the way. It's free, just maritimetraffic.com. Of the Presque Isle, he says, the Arthur M. Anderson, one of my favorites as well, and the subject of one of your recent videos, the Stuart J. Court. As a side note, we took our 9-year-old on an ocean-going ferry to Scotland, at the age of 4, and since then he has had an unwavering goal to become a ship captain when he grows up. He has been reminding me to enter this contest every day since it started, and although we would enjoy the prize at face value, I would enjoy even more having the tangible item to remind me of this season of life. Well, you enjoy this season of life, Joshua, with your 9-year-old. It'll go by in a flash, trust me. And then P.S., throughout your videos, there have been some amazing still shots that I would love to have a copy of. Do you have an online store or studio where any of your pieces can be purchased? Yeah, so about that. The truth is, no, I don't, at least not yet. I have sold several photos when people contact me directly and ask if the photo is available, and I work out something with them and send them the photo. I print all my photos. They're all limited editions. I don't make any more than 25 of any one photo. I had a one-man show in Chicago a couple of years ago that did extremely well, but that took me 5 months to prepare for. And I think I brought 45 pieces, and of 45 pieces, I sold 31. So that was a huge success for me, but man, it was so much work. And, I'm retired now for about 6 years, and I don't do work anymore. And if this becomes like work, I know that's really going to turn me off, and my art will suffer, and people will get cheesed off that I'm not responding to them or whatever. So I really don't want to put myself in that position. That being said, I am producing a website that should be up within the next couple of months that will have an online store with a selection of limited edition prints in various sizes that will be available. But if you can't wait, just write to me directly and let me know what photos you like or you would like to have one of. They come in various sizes, roughly 8 by 10, 11 by 14, 13 by 19, 17 by 22, I think is the largest I can print here. But other than that, I also have a book coming out. Those of you who have been following me for a long time, oh, here we go again with the book. I think he's just making this up. I brought it up so many times, and the book has been delayed countless times for a number of reasons that I'm not going to get into here, not now. I'll tell you about some of that later. I'm going to make an entire video of the book. And part of the problem is finding an offset press lithography house that will print small runs in the size that I want. It's a big coffee table sized book, like 11.5 by 9 3/4, and about 185 pages, I think, and 150 photos, but it also includes writings, about 28 essays and poems. And it's all about the Door Peninsula. It's called Behind the Door. What else? And we are supposed to go to pre-press next week, and they will be printed and available to me probably mid-May in bulk. I will have some advanced copies here, and I will have a pre-sale that I will tell you about. There'll be two editions of the book. Both are hardcover. It's casebound hardcover with a linen cover and a dust jacket. And there will be a premium limited edition of those books of 100. And then the rest will just be general edition numbers. And so, yeah, I'll tell you more about that later. So you tuned in to watch another video on winter layup. So we're going to run that now. I actually haven't even edited it yet, so I don't even know what boat it is. I'm just going to attach this to the front of that. So thank you so much, all of you, for participating. Congratulations, Joshua. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll just see you down the road. Thanks, everyone. Oh, yeah. She's out there all right, and she looks like she's stuck. boy, is there a fierce wind coming straight at me off that Bay of Green Bay. So what to do? Wait here a while, I guess. Maybe have a snack. I did bring something to eat. And so it's kind of like Cape Cod, the way that Idlewild and Sherwood Point kind of bend around like this, hook around like this. So in this little inlet here between Sherwood Point and Potawatomi State Park, it's nice and shallow, good ice fishing. There's about 20 ice shacks out there. Guys out there fishing. Alright, I guess we wait. There's the Lethem Smith Quarry just across the way there, nearly where I lost my drone. So there's a bald eagle, a juvenile. That's the second one I've seen since I've been out here. You can just make out the Burns Harbor right through the trees there. She is moving very slowly. Made myself some tea, and I stopped to get some donuts. One for me and one for Colleen when I get home. She's very particular about her donuts. They have to be cake donuts and they have to be chocolate covered. There's just something about these boats that has always intrigued me since I was a little kid. When my family first moved to the Midwest from New Jersey, I was a toddler. And my father used to take my brothers and I down to the pier in Waukegan to go fishing. I think I've told this story before. I didn't care for fishing. But I did see a cement boat unloading cement. And that absolutely fascinated me, and I've been hooked ever since. I was probably 3 or 4 years old. 4 maybe. This is a cool spot to shoot from. Got a nice wide open space here to launch the drone. It's public property, it's a cul-de-sac. You see the sign there, it says trail end. But we have a long wait. She's got a long, slow slog coming in through that ice. And where to go after this? You know, the best place to shoot from on this side of the bay, where you're the closest to the boat, is in Potawatomi State Park, right down by the shore. She gets as close as about 150, 200 feet from the shore. But the problem with shooting there is you can't launch a drone in Wisconsin State Park. A little bit farther down, in toward town, I shoot a lot from my buddy's backyard. Grant Willems. I've shot a lot of videos, especially last year. I shot from there. And kind of the nice thing about posting these videos, especially about the boats, is now everywhere I go, people recognize me and want to talk to me about boats. And it's great. I do enjoy that. And that's how I found this Grant Willems. He got in contact with me. I appreciate that very much. Very kind. Because you know, I don't trespass. Told you that story before too, so always ask for permission. Private property. And I think I've only ever been denied 1 or 2 times. Alright, I'm rambling now because I've got a lot of time to kill. And I won't put you through any more of that. So she's approaching the turning basin now. And we'll see if she goes straight in or if she's going to flip around. Typically, they're going to flip around. So it just makes it easier for them to get in the slip. Man, it's windy out here. I can't even keep the camera still. I got a time lapse going over here, but my battery is already halfway down, so again, the cold just eats up these batteries. She is really taking her time. The Burns Harbor struggled against the ice for nearly an hour to complete what is normally a 10-minute maneuver, well beyond the life of my camera batteries, but I did manage to get some time-lapse footage of the ordeal. From there, I headed into town just in time to see them tuck her in for the winter. Burns Harbor slowly shimmies up alongside her sister, the Walter J McCarthy Jr., the subject of last week's video. You can see a strong family resemblance. While the McCarthy was the first 1,000-footer built in Sturgeon Bay for Bethlehem Steel, the Burns Harbor was the third. In fact, there were 5 1,000-footers built here at Bay Ship, one per year between 1977 and 1981, and they are all nearly identical because they were all built for the same company, off the same plans. Quintuplets, you might say. They are now all part of the American steamship fleet, and viewed from a distance, you'd be forgiven for incorrectly identifying one for the other. They are that similar. But the Burns Harbor has one subtle distinguishing feature her other 4 sisters don't. Her aft deckhouse is 1 story taller. Now there's some boat nerd trivia for you.